Well, first of all, thank you everybody. We're all very busy, as you know. Myself and ministers going on these consultations with the business community and others across the country as we look at the upcoming session news on the Buy American front. Commodity prices are obviously a lot better than they were a year ago. That all said, we think we still have significant challenges going forward. Fragile state of the global recovery.
What's your full name and title, please?
Doug Mitchell, National Co-Chairman of Borden Land Law Firm. And we had a great meeting with the Prime Minister. I thought that we discussed many topics. We talked about energy, we talked about the economy generally, we talked about agriculture, and it was all from a 10,000-foot level. He was asking us what we felt was important from the standpoint of how to generate the economy, and overall I thought it was a very, very positive meeting.
So what did you say on how to generate the economy?
Well, we looked at it on the basis of stimulus required, anything like that. And we looked at it on the basis of where are we from an economic standpoint. We're also aware of what's happening in the United States. We know where we are from the standpoint of a recovery. And we looked at it on the basis of what can be done, and we think that we keep doing what we've been doing over the last few months.
What are the main requests for the budget?
Well, we didn't get into specifics about the budget.
Is any more stimulus required, do you think?
My personal view, I don't think so at this stage.
What was the general opinion in the meeting?
Well, I think we talked about it on the basis that the current stimulus that we've had regarding home improvement, for one thing, has ended. And I think the amount of money that's put into it, we're showing the effects of it. And I think, generally speaking, the effects of stimulus is always only for a certain term, and it doesn't last forever.
Yeah, most of the G7 finance ministers were saying that they think stimulus should continue. Why do you have a different opinion?
Well, I think you look on the basis of what is the short-term benefit, what's the long-term benefit, and eventually you have to switch over from stimulus, and the economy has to generate its own success rate. And my personal view is that you can't continue to do it forever. Somebody has to pay for it.
What was the sense of how Canada is doing compared to the rest of the world?
Well, I think it's generally regarded as fragile at the moment, that compared to other nations, we're doing very well, but there's a lot of reasons that I think people are still nervous. They're still worried about their jobs, they're still worried about the future, and I think we have to be cautious.
Take one more question, that's it.
What was the mood in the room then?
I think, generally speaking, the mood was positive, but I think everybody in the room was cautious, but I think people were committed to continuing to do what we're doing now and being fortunate. I think we're grateful, actually, for where we are in Canada at this particular stage.
I've been in one of these a couple of years ago, and I think he handles it very, very well. I think he genuinely is reaching out and looking for feedback, opinions, and ideas of what's working, what's in the best interest, not only of Albertans, but all Canadians. And with the clear focus on how we're perceived by the rest of the world, and because we're in a global economy, and we do have to make it work as people worldwide. And so it was very broad-based.
We heard about stimulus, stimulus. What have you heard about that?
Well, as I understand it, stimulus programs are going to carry on, and it's strictly business. Has to balance, has to work with the budget, within the budget, and I guess there will come a point where there'll be limited funds, but I think the programs that are in place and those that are planned are going to continue to move forward.
I guess that's a long shot, but Alberta, I would like to review the balancing act. Was it, did you talk about that?
Equalization.
Oh, yeah.
Equalization payment.
Well, no, there was no discussion about that.
What would you say the main themes are that were discussed today?
Well, I think I've covered them all. I think lots of, because it was an Alberta-based group, a lot of talk about energy initiatives, carbon capture, environment, a lot of very healthy discussion on those issues.
Do you think there's a lot of optimism about the economy right now, or is there too much?
Well, locally, I think there's a fair bit of optimism, and I guess everybody in that room is mindful of not only what's good for Alberta, but what's good for the rest of the country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway, thanks, colleagues.